China's unicorn menagerie. Come and see where fun and joy live wild and free. With every thread she spins delight. Gaming, crafting, shining bright. Sassy, sweet, she's everything right. In China's world, we take flight. She's got commissions flying in, creating magic, yarn to spin. Gaming world or crafting side. In China's hands the stars collide. Unicorn queen with the playful touch. The magic grows. Crafting joy with every hue. In her menagerie there's always something new. Loving, kind, yet full of sass. She's a fire, a shining glass. Short in size, but she stands so tall. In China's world, we answer the call. China's unicorn menagerie. Come and see where fun and joy live wild and free. With every thread she spins delight. Gaming, crafting, shining bright. Sassy, sweet, she's everything right. In China's world, we take flight. In China's menagerie we belong. With unicorn magic we all grow strong. So come along in life's parade, where every moment's a dream she's made. In China's world the colors shine. Yarn-dyed rainbows, threads divine. She's got a sparkle, a heart of gold. Sassy, kind, a joy to behold. Unicorn dreams, the world she spins. Let's dive into her magic, let the fun begin. Crafting spells with yarn so bright. In her menagerie, day or night. Games and laughter, endless play. China's leading the magic way. She's tiny but her spirit's tall. Big on life and loving it all. With a wink, a smile, she's taking control. Mischief and kindness wrapped in one soul. China's unicorn menagerie. Come and see where fun and joy live wild and free. With every thread she spins delight. Gaming, crafting, shining bright. Sassy, sweet, she's everything right. In China's world, we take flight. She's got commissions flying in, creating magic, yarn to spin. Gaming world or crafting side. In China's hands the stars collide. Unicorn queen with a playful touch. Her loving spirit means so much. Join her world where dreams can grow. With China's place the magic grows. Crafting joy with every hue. In her menagerie something new. Loving, kind, and full of sass. She's a fire, a shining glass. Short in size, but she stands so tall. In China's world, we answer the call. China's unicorn menagerie. Come and see where fun and joy live wild and free. With every thread she spins delight. Gaming, crafting, shining bright. Sassy, sweet, she's everything right. In China's world, we take flight. In China's menagerie we belong. With unicorn magic we all grow strong. So come along in life's parade, every moment's a dream she's made.
Hello, good morning. It's me. My camera is down. There we go. Hi! Look, I'm not naked. Hello, everybody. How we doing? Happy Monday. Hello, hello. Good morning. How is everybody? Did you guys miss me? My voice is a little gone. Missed you guys. Bet you are under your clothes, why'd you call me a slug? Are you sure you aren't? I don't remember what I said, so now I'm not sure. Oh, whether or not I'm naked? I don't think my skin's this sparkly.
Dancing on rainbows. Fluffy unicorns dancing on rainbows.
I think Priestess missed the unicorn song.
Fluffy unicorns dancing on rainbows.
Because I have a problem. My voice is going. So that's the other reason I can't have a long stream. I went to the burlesque show and I was screaming a lot because titties. Yeah, so the mess I have here is, I know, I'm sorry. I was conventioning. I didn't take a picture of my outfit from yesterday. I only took a picture of the other two, which is why I posted them. What happened, Faith? What happened? You have to turn up the audio volume. Jesus Christ, Faith. I cannot believe that. Hello, everybody. Mink, Puff, Crash, Hannah, Merrick Dragon. Although I don't know who you are, but hello. I know you're a new follower. Wait, can somebody fish Merrick, please? I missed somebody. Priestess. I probably missed Priestess. Oh, a slut. I ain't propagating the page. Right, you were gonna call me a slut. That's fine. That's fair, Priestess. To be fair, I was naked. I did have to take a shower at some point, so. But as, what did you guys get up to while I was away? I want you guys to tell me about things. The thing about this yarn is that, this is part of Arid's yarn. And, when I was scouring it, it ended up getting tangled because it got caught on one of the other yarns and it pulled somewhere and it didn't fix itself. Oh, did you also go to the smut store? The bookstore? Did you guys have fun? Yeah. Hi, Dehan. I missed you. I missed everybody. And Joanne's nice. Oh, I saw random pictures from Katie on Snapchat about things. Busy day at the liquor store? Boo! At least you have today off, right? I hope you have today off, Faith. Close the store is called... No! That's the worst! I'm sorry, Faith. That sucks. Yeah, so I was selling at the convention. Okay? And... oh my god, this yarn. I'm trying to cake it. I'm not gonna reskein it. I'm just gonna cake it. As many of you guys know, that's why I didn't stream Thursday, Saturday, or Sunday. And where's this at? I left Thursday during the day, because I got the Airbnb early, like for the night before, because I didn't know how setup and stuff was gonna be. You're gonna play COD to grind skin. Are they the skins that I want? Can't believe he's leaving me for pew-pews. To be fair, he hasn't heard all of these stories, but he's heard some stories already. $125 and before all the discount. Fuck, dang. I'm jealous, Priestess. I'm jealous. There's still a particular yarn I need that's a big twist yarn. I know, Chaos. You grind that shit. Make me happy. There's a stretchy doggo. He missed us. So the event. So I'm gonna tell the whole story, Priestess. I'm not gonna cut to the punchline, so you have to listen. You'll have to keep your attention on me. Today's the last day for all Joannes. Well, that sucks. I guess I'm never gonna get that yarn. I specifically need, if anyone's listening, I specifically need Big Twist plush in white. Not coconut. Coconut's very different. I need it in white. If anybody has one, that is the, I just need one. That is the one I need. To finish an appa that I had started and thought I had enough yarn for, then I didn't. My Joannes didn't have it. I should have probably just said, well, if they have if they have plush in white, I need that. So anyways, we set up, you know, we got there. My dad took me, he drove me there, found the place, and then found the other place, brought all the stuff. I started setting up and whatever. And basically waited for Daedric to show up because he had to drop off Hippo elsewhere and then meet me there. And then, you know, finish up setting some things because I brought like 4 of my wood crates. And I used them, and like I'm not used to having one 8-foot table. I'm used to having like 2 4-foot tables in like a corner. Well, I know that Big Twist is supposedly being like the patent or whatever was sold to Hirschner's, but I don't know when that's gonna happen. And if I can get one from a closing Joann's for like a couple bucks and not have to buy it for like 12 when it's on Hirschner's, like I'd rather buy it on the cheaps. And her mystery. You could get a mystery box of yarn? I might have to message Katie. I want a mystery box. I love mystery boxes. So so we set that up and he brought like the other, I only need one of that specific color, just one. Because the doll, the amigurumi I made is almost done. Like I have the whole body. I need to do the head and 2 legs. Like, so it's just one. Thanks, Priestess. Yeah, everyone keep an eye out and then message me if you see it. So what was I saying? Oh, so we set up. I did put pictures like on Instagram, I think, of my setup. Hello Zion. I know I was at a convention selling stuff this weekend, so, you know. We got all set up. We went to Walmart to get like pot noodles and microwavable oatmeal. And to also see if we could get like an 8-foot tablecloth because I have 2 4-foot tablecloths. So we were allowed, because I was a corner table, we were allowed to use like the extra space next to it as long as we didn't like, you know, block the walkway. So I had him bring an extra table to put that by and whatever. And I was like, we need another tablecloth, otherwise it's gonna look stupid. So, you know, it ended up looking better. Hello, Moose, how are you? It looked better after we got the tablecloth, even though the other tablecloth was not a great fit, but like I used it to cover the length basically, and then used the other one, the shorter regular one to like cover for the front. So it all worked out. So then, you know, we went to the Airbnb and it was kind of late when we got there, like after 9, I think. So we just like, you know, had some noodles
This causes
or
Jimmery's
whatever. Hi,
coming to
Becca!
He wants chaos.
and then
Hi.
went to bed, essentially, like hung out a little bit, went to bed. But the next day, I basically didn't sleep well. And it was one because it did get a little warm in the Airbnb. Because like it didn't really have a fan and in where the bed was. And then yeah, absolutely, Zion, do it. Um and the bed sheets were really warm. 87%. A because they were like thick, right? They were thick bedding, like quilt and whatever. Um and then also because I was nervous cuz like you guys, it was my first convention as like a full-time person, you know? My first one. And oh, I forgot to message Derek, but that's fine. Um and so day one was Friday, right? It didn't start till 3, and we could set up starting at like 10. So we like got up and I showered, and I think I showered. I know I showered at some point. I'm really tired, but I did shower. And we had like our microwavable oatmeal um thing, and we went to the place. Well, we went to Walmart again because the size of the tablecloth. That's right. We didn't fix the tablecloth until Thursday. But hi, Arid. How you doing? I'm so bad at telling stories, you guys. It was we ended up going like way earlier than we needed to. Like I could have spent an extra hour in bed, but I was so like nervous and so like I don't know how long things are going to take cuz I still need to put tags on everything cuz I didn't do that last night, and everything else needs set up and whatever. There's a couple other things that need put out and stuff. And so then we went early and we started doing that, and then I was like freaking out at some point because oh yeah, with the new PC, that's exciting. It's set now. Is it a video? It's a video teaser, right? Um and like I was freaking out at some point because one of the crocheters that I've tested for and like I've followed, yeah, this is yours. This happened. So now I'm just gonna cake this one and the rest will be skeined. It got caught on something and then was wet and tangled and would not stop being perpetually tangled. So, okay. And then Bardic Trinkets. It was Bardic Trinkets. I got to meet Bardic Trinkets. Yep. And I've tested some of her patterns. She ended up knowing who I was, but it was probably because like I posted my setup and she probably like saw my setup in her Discord or whatever. But that was cool. I got a hug and like a selfie with her, which I have to post. Well, I put it in her Discord. And I didn't talk to her until like Saturday, I think, but I basically told her that like, you know, I really admire her work and stuff like that. So that was really awesome to see, you know, a crafter that that I admire and follow and have a lot of her patterns. That was really awesome. And but like the first day sucked. The first day absolutely sucked. Like the convention was pretty cool. I'd never been before or even heard of it, and it's been around for like 10 years apparently. It had cars, it had piercers, it had tattooists. Like you could get a tattoo there at the convention and people were and whatever. It had voice actors, it had panels, you know. It had a fuck ton of vendors, and in our opinion, it had way too many vendors. Like, and it was a lot of artists, but like they could have had like 100 less vendors. And it still would have been a lot of vendors, you know? And there were some empty tables of like people who didn't show up, but I think one of the issues was that there were too many vendors. Because I know some people around me or like down the row were complaining a bit about like either like lack of sales or, you know, not doing as well as they wanted to, or like not really having people, like a lot of foot traffic in general. And like Friday, absolutely horrible, like a terrible day. It was like 3 to 10. There was hardly anyone there. I was having a struggle, you know, just being like in a good mood or whatever, because I'm just like, there's nobody here, really, you know. I did make some sales. I ended up making like 7 sales, or sold 7 things, because I kept track of how many, not how many people I sold to, but how many things I sold. And I ended up selling in total, like by the end of the convention, like 100 things, almost 100 things. It was not quite, but the next day, Saturday, was fucking insane. There were so many people there, and I was like keeping an eye on the badges, because seeing like if they were weekend badges or day badges. And like on Friday it kind of looked like there was a lot more Friday badges than weekend badges, so I was a little worried. But Saturday, there was a fuck ton of Saturday badges, but a lot of weekend badges. Saturday was wild. There were so many people. At some point, like I was getting like 2 different people buying things at once or whatever, like multiple people. I sold I sold a lot of things on Saturday. And Sunday was actually a lot more busy than I would thought it would be. Like a lot of people, I think it helped that it's Memorial Day weekend, so they have the con open till 6, like it's 10 to 6. And the needs I do need extra hands from 10 to 6, and like a lot of people were showing up like in the late afternoon with Sunday badges and whatever. Like that was pretty cool, and I ended up getting like sales basically until closing, you know. I think my last sale was actually the artist a couple tables down, who bought like the other chicken. I ended up selling like both chickens. I did not end up selling much amigurumi, like much of my crocheted pieces at all. I did sell the 2 chickens. I sold the Snorlax that I never took pictures of. Everybody loved the Snorlax, but like it's priced high, you know, because it takes a lot of yarn. It's a big doll. Like it's this big, you know. It takes a few hours, you know. Um oh, is that you? Yeah, dragon peacock. It's a snake, but I wanted to say dragon. Um and that Parker can't steal, you know, he'll just steal it anyway. Um so then yeah, I sold that one to a little boy. A lot of people like loved it and were like touching it and wanted it, but like again, it was a higher priced item. Like I think I sold it for 90. But this little boy really wanted it, I guess, and his parents were like, yeah, okay, and just handed a wad of cash to Daedric and was like, here. And, you know, the boy carried it around, squeezing it, and he was real young. He probably was like Hippo's age or something, you know? And then uh the next or later that day, so a woman came by and was like, is this where the Snorlax was? I was like, oh, I just sold that a couple hours ago. I'm waiting to hear. I have to check my emails, but if I can get the money, priestess, if I could get the money, there's a few in like in Raleigh. There's one in Raleigh and a couple of other ones that like I'm like I could go to, but they're expensive. And what was I gonna say? Oh, and you know, the person, she ended up calling the person who had wanted it on the phone and told her how much like it was, and I said, you can commission it from me. I did tell her that I was doing a sale through the end of the month on commissions, which I'm still doing. All commissions still through the end of the month are 15% off, and my shops are still 15% off. For the fourth wall, you do have to use the code still that's in the title, but Etsy is 15% off. So I need to see if they messaged me, like if they emailed me at all. Because I haven't gone through my emails yet. But I was like, I can make the Snorlax the exact same way, no problem. Apparently, because the person she was talking to, he's a texture person. And he said that my crocheted stuff, there was only like 2 or 3 other people who had some crochet stuff, like other than Bardic trinkets. And he said that mine was like felt the nicest, like it was the softest or whatever. So that was good. I took the only cartridges, like the only Pokemon cartridges. This is Garsh's Zapdos one. The only ones I took were Gengar, Ghastly, and Haunter. And I sold Ghastly and Gengar. And then somebody came by later and like, no, somebody took the Gengar one. And then I was like, well, you can buy it from my Etsy. Here you go. So I haven't, that person didn't buy that one yet, but hopefully they looked after I fixed it, because I think a couple of the things that were there said sold out. And then when they shouldn't have, so I had to fix that. And then the Pokeballs, the decorative Pokeballs I made, I ended up selling the Weezing, which somebody also was like, no, I wanted that one. And then I'm like, Etsy shop, here you go. You know, I sold that one, and I sold one of the Zapdos balls, so that was cool. That I didn't sell the Ditto or the coughing ball. But I do have somebody who's like, I want to see what other ones you got, you know? So, they took my card to like, you know, look at that. And, I had my favorite, the most sold, oh wait, I did sell my Lucifer duck that I took. I did not sell the Alistair duck, but I sold the Lucifer duck, which was cool. And I sold the pink shiny Mudkip to somebody who was dressed like a Pommy, the clown from, well, it's not a clown, but it looks like a clown from the Amazing Digital Circus. She was so happy about it, because she loves Mudkips. So I did sell those amigurumi. And I sold like a dice tower, and I sold one of the dice display things. I sold another dice tower. Yeah, an Alistair duck. I actually have it here because I need to finish the other Lucifer duck and ship them out, because it was somebody had bought it. It's my Alistair duck. I have one that's downstairs. This one is already paid for, but I have one that's downstairs that is not sold, and then I need to make a Vox duck because I have the pattern, I just haven't made it. But yeah, the Lucifer one sold at the convention, which was cool. I did sell a few pairs of earrings. I might have a commission for something for somebody's wedding. You want? Well, you know where to find me. Actually, wait, did I put it in my shop? Quick intro. And I know I don't have music on. It's because I don't want music today. I know it's on my Etsy. Although I need to change the picture because it's a different pattern. Yeah. Oh, I'm glad I could inspire you, priestess. I am busy. What kind of Pokemon things, though? The articulated kinds? Yeah, I do have them on my Etsy. Can somebody do exclamation point Etsy in chat? Um, it's not that Lucifer duck. It's a different pattern. But you can order the Alistair Lucifer and the Vox. I only have one of each on there right now, but they are there on my Etsy. Thank you. Yeah, it's not on. I wasn't sure if it was on my fourth wall. I put it on Etsy. For the person who wanted both, I had created them a fourth wall listing to pay for, but I didn't to pay for. I just didn't make a Etsy listing. I think for customs, I don't really want to do like if I do a listing for it to pay that way, I don't want to do an Etsy one because then I have to pay the fees for that. I can just throw up a fourth wall one. You know, it's much easier. The other thing, priestess, is that like you have to kind of find the right ones as well. Like I'm not this year will be the last year that I'm doing artisan markets. I'm not doing them anymore, and that was the goal. The only reason I did them was because they were easier to get into. You know, I thought I could build up to doing conventions because there's not really a ton of small conventions. There was that one I did a couple years ago, and that one like I was supposed to sell at last year, but they ended up like closing forever. Or like, you know, conventions are expensive, so I was just trying to get like essentially build up a resume slash get money while I could, and also it was easier to do day trips, day events rather than the other ones, but because the live events, the artisan markets, a lot of the ones I go to, they fucking suck, you know? So, National Local Cemetery? Ah, okay. No, I understand. Just remember that it's there. And if you're going to get it, it's 15% off until Saturday the last day it'll be 15% off. But and then I can just ship the one I already made right to you because it's downstairs. But they suck. I never make money, and I like my stuff just doesn't do well there in general. Because my stuff is so much different than the clients that go there, and my stuff is not soap or beauty products or fancy jewelry. After the discount, shipping will probably be like $5 if I remember correctly. It's usually around 5. Plus tax. It'll be $45 plus shipping. So it'll come out to like 50. Thank you, priestess. But I normally sell them they normally sell 450. So then normally it would be normally it would have been almost 60, but it'll come out to about 50. Park with the castle today. What kind, like is it a play castle or like uh like an old castle ruin or what? Um or do you mean are you talking about Disney? So yeah, so I don't want to do the artisan markets anymore. I'm just gonna collectively call them artisan markets because like they are cheaper. Magic Kingdom Fair. They are generally cheaper and they are generally just 1 day events, so I don't have to pay for a hotel, which makes them overall cheaper, but I don't do well. I usually make table costs. Well, I sometimes make table costs back, but that's about it. Um, because I just. No, don't worry about it, Puff. You can do it at your leisure. You know where to find me. And as long as you're not overspending, helping pack the backpacks, that's fair. It's fine. I'm just talking about the event. I'm only gonna do conventions basically, or like nerd events, because that's literally, or like pride festivals. Um, I mean, I'd be fine with that. That doesn't bother me. Because that's just where I fit and like it's what I've wanted to do anyway. It's just that I also like I did apply to a fair bit. Thanks, Faith. You do know where to find me, Puff. I did apply to a fair bit of conventions. It's just, obviously a lot of them I didn't get accepted into. Um, but this one I think I did a lot better than, some of the people there, and it's literally because of my clicker fidgets. Oh, I'm fine with that. I'll cuddle Deku like nobody's business. Um, most of what I sold was probably clicker fidgets. Most of what I sold between keychains and the burlesque woman that I absolutely adore and consider to be the sexiest woman alive. She like I got a picture with her, and again after like I think the last time I saw her was probably like 7 years ago, 8 years ago, something like that. And she bought some of my stuff. Yeah, she made me uwu real hard, and I got to put money in her panties. It was great. Um, she only let me do it too, you know. So that was great. Oh, I knocked on my
Why do you
ducky.
have to be so blue?
My ducky fell over.
You know that we are horny
Oh
too.
no. There they are. Somebody was like leaving tiny ducks, and like I ended up getting 5 ducks at my table, like just left there. Yeah. So that was cool. I made friends with the vendor manager. Every morning I would yell, "Good morning, Renee!" So then when I was leaving, I was looking for her and I didn't see her. And she was, okay. She was, he's all stretchy. She was helping pack up one of the bars because they had like a winery come and like honey and whatever. Come on. Come on. And she's like, "You're not gonna say goodbye? Sit. Come on, sit. Huxley. Good boy. Lay down. Yeah. No, no, no. Good boy." Thank you, Arid. I will work on my posture. Yeah, she's like, "You're not gonna say goodbye?" And I'm like, "Bye, Renee!" So that was really funny. So I'll see her next year. And she's like, "And at all the events you go to." I'm like, "I hope so." So I made friends with her without even like, I didn't even like have conversations with her at all. It was just that I would say good morning to her real loud all the time. So I made a good impression. And we made friends. I talked to a couple of authors that were really awesome. Hi, I got your message. I just didn't hi Candy. I got your message. I will respond to you later. But I'm doing good. I'm like I think in the middle of my con story basically. The TLDR is a lot of fun. I mostly sold clicker fidgets, which is what I was saying. I sold so many of those. People love them so much. Sunday was actually really busy, which was great. It was much busier than Friday and a lot less busy than Saturday, but it was still really good. I did really well. Monetarily, my revenue ended up being more, if I calculated everything correctly, and I might be missing some stuff. I have to go back over it, but my revenue ended up being more than my costs. Although like that's tentative, it might be close. Profit wise, if we're just looking at my profits though, no worries, Faith. Profit wise, I'm like at negative 400 and something dollars. It ended up being almost negative $500. So I ended up getting like, you know, a good chunk of my money back basically. And then I bought my space for next year already, which is great. That was really cool. And it was fun. Like I didn't do any of the stuff you normally do because like when you attend, I basically just walked around a lot at the convention. Talked to vendors, we made friends. A couple new people joined my Discord because we made friends with them. One of them is a crocheter who just likes to crochet. She will go to a rave and crochet, which I learned that her friends are from up this way, and one of them owns a company or works for a small company that puts raves on that we could go to, like a lot of EDM stuff, EDM music events and stuff. So that was pretty cool. And apparently, if the crochet friend goes, she just crochets. She just sits there and crochets, and I'm like, mood. And then we met this other guy who's really cool, who loves books and 3D printing, and he was awesome. He was like dressed all like gothic kilt kind, you know. I don't want shoes. I don't want to get some shoes. So that was really cool. And Daedric made friends with this guy who also 3D prints. He 3D printed a massive Umbreon, and his wife does art. And I guess she had a tarot deck, and I didn't see it because I didn't go to their table because like we kept going back. Daedric kept going over there, and he kept coming over here. And I was like, oh, you got a new boyfriend, you know? Because like a lot of the time when he would get up and go pee, they would be talking for like 20 minutes, and I'm like, whatever. So that was funny. And I talked to some authors, and a couple of them, the two that I talked to are actually going to be at the fantasy book convention as authors, in August that I'm staffing at. And that's really exciting. So I gave them my business cards. They were really great to talk to. And one of them and I bonded over the fact that our fathers would make us look up words we didn't know the definition to. We'd be like, I don't know what this word means. What is it? Look it up. We're like, okay, let's get out the big, massive dictionary with the tiny text and go find the fucking word, I guess. So apparently, I love this about her. Apparently, she makes sure to put in her books a few words that she doesn't think her dad knows the meaning to, so he'll have to go look it up. I'm like, I love that so much. That's something I would do. My voice is like a problem. One, because I was talking a lot, and two, because I was screaming a lot at the burlesque show, because obviously. So my throat kind of does hurt also. And then, the other one, she also has like blue hair. It's blue and purple hair. I say also because I was thinking about Cal's. And she is also not allowed to not have blue hair anymore, which is funny. And her husband are really nice, and she has written a lot of books, a lot of fantasy books, and she was a lot of fun to talk to. Um, she's super active on social media, and I saw while I was leaving, I saw a couple of her reels that she was making about the cons, like one about some lady who was mean about, like, well, not mean, just like made a not okay statement about the fact that the author had like a, an LGBTQ plus flag at their table. And I'm like, wow, okay. And apparently the random lady was like, I don't think you're gonna sell anything. You should take that down. And I'm like, shit, that happened? What? You know? And then like some other fun story that like about this person who like literally tried to find every single bit of change and dollars or whatever in their pockets and in their car because they wanted one of her books so bad, and literally like came with like a container full of all that. I'm like, that's just heartwarming. That's so cool. And like him apologizing or whatever, and she's like, I don't care. She's like, I do not care, because like the fact that you put this much effort in just because one of my books, like you wanted to read my books, one of my books that bad, um I'm like, that's such a cool story. uh and like there were some people, like some of the other vendors, who were saying that like this year was not as good as last year, but I think it really depends on where you are, like your spot, especially because they've added a lot more vendors. But one of the tattoo artists was saying that they've added a lot more variety as well, which is great because that's, I guess, previously, or at least a couple of years ago, it was just artists. And like, if anyone's gone to an anime convention, and it's all the artists, it's all the same but different, it's all the same setup, and not necessarily the same fandoms being depicted or whatever, but it just, it gets at some point you kind of gloss over, while you're walking down, or at least like, people, me, I do that for sure. um but I guess they've added more variety, and I guess the tattooing part is new. They only added that in the last couple years. Somebody who's been there for a while, who makes like Altoid tin dioramas of like different things. Like I think a couple Pokemon, but like other stuff that are really cool. I guess she's been there for a while because she's like in the area. And she said that it's grown in the past couple years, and they were celebrating their 10-year this year. So they seem to be doing pretty well. Okie dokie. Thank you, priestess. Um it's one that I'll probably keep it in mind for next year, because if it's in October, it's probably too late to get spots in, but I will keep it in mind for next year and try to like mark on my calendar. But like our one friend, like when he was leaving, I was showing him my spreadsheets because I'm really proud of my spreadsheets. And he was saying that I did really well. Like his stuff was more, high price, like more higher ticket than some of my stuff. But we were talking about how like he needs to find like some cheap little thing that he could do in mass quantity, which is what I did. Oh, they're still open? Okay, I'll look at it. Because I do have a con already in October. But what was I saying? Oh, yeah. I was like, well, and I was like, clickers. And he's like, that's your thing. I don't want to do that because, like, I don't want to start flooding the market. Like, it works for you. I'll find something. I'm like, fine, whatever. And then I gave his little girl one of the clickers. And he's like, no. I'm like, yeah, it's fine. It's just we could be table neighbors, especially if they, some places will have you request, like, if, you could ask to be by this one person, you know, like to be by somebody else. So that is also a thing that is possible at some of the events. But yeah, it was a good con. I enjoyed it. Um, I enjoyed it. There wasn't really much to complain about, you know. Friday being slow, like, makes sense. Sunday not being slow was pleasantly surprising. Um, I already know things I could do differently next year and will do next year. And like maybe even before my next convention. Uh, so nice. Good. That's good to hear. I like when they do that because, like, I know some people who will, like, go with their friends or, like, their, relative, like their sibling or something also sells stuff and they're like, I want to be, you know, right by them. And it seems fairly well organized. The only kind of annoying thing is that they didn't have like physical pamphlets, so I couldn't even see what kind of panels or anything that they had. And the only reason I knew about the burlesque show was because the vendor manager mentioned that, you know, since the con ended at midnight and the vendors were allowed to be done at 8, they were like, you could all catch the burlesque show at whatever the time was. And I was like, what? What pineapple? I'm very confused. What pineapple? But yeah, so that was great. That would have been nice. But apparently I think they had been trying to use one of the apps. And then I guess it didn't work. So you had to find it somewhere on Facebook. Oh, you guys are talking about the freeze dryer. Okay. And I'm like, I hate using Facebook and finding shit on Facebook. So, oh well, maybe next time. So I'm excited about like next year. And then I have Harrisburg Comic Con, not Harrisburg Comic Con. I have Carlisle Comic Con, and I have Hershey Comic Con, and I have oh my God, Conan, no. And I have
CO1
anime.
MC Gill asked me,
I might have
before I
another
redeem
one.
it, should I make China do squats
No,
this
say
morning?
no,
Oh,
say no.
absolutely make them do squats.
No!
Says good morning,
How
like some
fucking dare you,
post-convention
AI
episode.
shit!
Plus, it'll give them a chance to work off all that Richard Waffle weight. Just make sure.
What do you
they
mean,
aren't too
Richard Waffle
distracted
weight?
by
I haven't had any
thoughts
fucking
of
waffles!
hot melted butter, or they'll end up doing the unicorn move. Instead, give them a
can't
pep
believe
talk
this.
and tell them Chai sent you.
Where's my pep talk, Conan? Where's my pep talk? The AI said that you were gonna give me a pep talk. That was fucked up. I can't believe the AI betrayed me. I can't believe that. I bet I don't even get a pep talk. I have an event in June. Well, I remember. Oh, I have an event, so I won't be here this Saturday because I have an event. And then I have an event on the 21st of June and the 28th of June. So, AI doesn't have any. I know, the AI called me fat and said I needed to work off some, called me fat and stressed. So, thanks, Conan. Thank you. Thank you. That's fair. That's fair. I hope you're doing well. But yeah, that's my con story. That's my con story. So I'm very tired. I did not sleep much or well last night. and I've got a lot to do. Oh, I didn't tell the clicker story. The clicker story was that there was this guy and his 2 daughters, and they came to my table, and they were obsessed with the clickers, and they were telling me that this is the best thing that they have ever seen and the best thing at this con.
You can be rough with me, Kim. China? Okay, fine. I'm going to be rough with China, obviously. I know that China's head will be empty once I bring the chains out, which is perfect. I don't need you thinking after I chain you up.
Aw, thanks, Conan. Apparently I'm stunning. That's so nice. I don't get called stunning or beautiful that much, so it's very rare and pleasant occasion when I do, so thank you. Get some woos, you know. So anyway, yeah, Kim actually did say that, obviously. So that was cool. Anyways, so they ended up buying 4 clickers, like they each got 2, right? And then they literally came back later that day. Listen, chaos. Somebody called me stunning. And then I had Kim telling me about how she's gonna be rough with me. Like, how could I not be thirsty? Come on. Anyways. Then they came back, and then they ended up buying literally like 2 handfuls. Like, I had to hold some of them like this because I didn't have bags, which is a thing I need to buy. And then Daedric ended up having things like this, like his hands with stuff. They ended up buying, like, I don't know, it was like 10 to 12 and a mystery box. I did sell 2 of my 5 mystery boxes. I sold the 2 cheap ones. And then the next day, they only had Saturday passes, but the next day I ended up getting 2 Etsy orders back to back for mystery clicker fidget bundles from them. Like, they sent me a message saying, so I don't think that they stopped clicking all day, and then they asked for more this morning, and then they asked for more, then the more a few minutes later. So I get to send them even more clicker fidgets. So that was a win. And then I'm printing right now. I did get an order for a yarn bowl. I don't know if it's somebody who was here, saw it, and then found it on my shop and then ordered it for their sibling or something. Cause they ordered it as like a gift. But it's entirely possible that they were at the con, and then, you know, like, a lot of people took my cards. A lot of people, when I wore the cardigan that I just finished, a lot of people liked that, and some people were even asking if I do commissions for it. I'm like, and I did explain that I do commissions for sweaters. I didn't have that one up because this was a test print that wasn't out yet, or a test pattern that was not out yet. But I just told them to send me a message. You know, my email's right there on the thing. Just send me an email. And we can talk about commissioning a sweater like this one, or I'm like, I have like other patterns. So, you know, there's a chance that one of the people who were like, I'm gonna commission you, actually commission me, which is great. I've not gotten very far in this yarn, but this is gonna be my project all day, apparently. Which is fine. But Aird's gonna have a bunch of skeined yarn and then one caked one. One pre-caked yarn. And it will have been, every single bit of it will have been touched by China. Every single bit. So, but that was my day. That was my day. My weekend. Which is why I just wanted to have a short chit chat stream where I just tell everybody about my day and whatever, because I'm pretty brain dead. And I will be back tomorrow. I will be back tomorrow. I don't know what we're doing. We might play a game because I still want to play Expedition 33. So we might be doing that. Be our wee baguette boy. Jesus Christ. Huxley spooked me because he sneezed at me. But I think that is, since that's the end of my story, that is a good, place to stop. That is a good place to stop. And we'll need to delete it later. Did you put it in share on stream? Because then I'm gonna share it on stream. Yeah, let's check the share on stream real quick. Oh, I swear to God, Huxley. Awesome. So we got Morpho first. Finished a slouchy beanie using things that I cannot pronounce. And that's fine. Here we go. Here's the beanie. There it is. There's the beanie. Huxley. No. No. Oh, did you get your freeze-dried Skittles, your freeze-dried candies? No, you cannot sit up here. No, you had a treat. I think this beanie looks really good. This is a very wild stitching pattern. I want to know how it's done, so I might have to look this up later. And obviously the color choice is great. And oh my God, all the art behind Morpho is amazing. As always. No, you shut up. These hats are amazing. Look it! Morpho looks so good. I like the hat. All right. This is yarn that Morpho spun. They say they dyed it too. It was spun. That's pretty cool. I like the color scheme going on here. Very earthy. Huxley, I will turn you into a coat. I will turn you into a coat. I swear. I will. You think I won't? You think I won't? Yeah, they're doing really well with the consistency. Okay, this is the video. Oh God. Nope. Nope. Oh, that worked really janky, but whatever. They're making a little video. Stop it. But that's cool. This is Zion's. Very good work. I think Zion already left because the time difference. But very good work, Zion. I will. Where is it? Okay. Here's Arid's work. So we can see it now. Oh, nice. That's Arid's little Arid 82. Hi, Cookie. Thank you. You too, darling. This looks really good. This is really good, and I know exactly who that's for. Very good, Arid. What is this? Oh my God, this is so cute. How did you like working with this yarn? Because this yarn looks terrible to work with. This looks so cute. I love it. I love it. It's so fluffy. I just want to squeeze it. Yeah. I have a piece where I have the body done, and I've just like putting my fingers in all of the holes and like trying to figure out what's what, and I still don't think it's right, but it's gonna have to be right enough, you know what I mean? But it looks good. The other will be blue with a purple skull. Nice. Oh, I love that, Arid. I love that. Oh, okay. Looking it up for visual comparison. I think that worked out. No, I think it works pretty well. I think you need to put like the toothy smile on it, and then it'll be good. The skulls are gonna look good depending on the kind of yarn. I mean, they look good as they are, but depending on, you know, what kind of yarn you use. Oh no. Oh no, Jelly! God dang it! I can't escape. It's fine. Hello, Jellyfish! I don't know why I called you Jellyfish. Whatever. Hi, Jelly! How we doing? Hello, Vina! Hello, Sita! Hi, Ferret! Hi, Jelly! How are you doing? What are we up to? What were we doing today? Hello, Starry. Hi, Zero. I see it is a raid. Hello. I have a nice number of viewers right now. What were you doing? What were you up to? Do you have anything to share? I'm just trying to undo a giant yarn vomit while talking about my my weekend, because I was selling stuff at a convention and I did pretty well, and my voice is like, you know, not going very well. Oh, nice. That's topical. That is very topical. You finished your shirt, right? You finished the polo? I think I saw it. I think I saw you wearing it, but I didn't know if it was actually done or not. But my name's China. For those of you who don't know me, I am a if Priestess could do exclamation point welcome. Ah, you need to photograph it, Jelly, because it was looking so good. It's looking so good, and I can't believe it was all just random scrap yarn you had. I'm a full-time crafter slash content creator. I say that because like I Twitch stream. I'm very variety. I do whatever feels good, whatever I want to do basically in terms of what I make and what I play. We're probably going to play Expedition 33 more tomorrow because I've been enjoying that. Today I didn't want to stream terribly long because I am tired. I had a very long weekend. I keep forgetting too. I literally that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen, Priestess. We're not talking about that kind of thing. Thank you so much, Sita. Can Sita get a fish, please, for the follow? I lost my train of thought entirely. Oh, I was gonna say, I sold a Snorlax at the convention that I finished right before the convention, and I never took pictures of it. I forgot to take pictures of it. And I know, but we ignore that. We ignore that because that is a one day, maybe like in a couple years, you know, because I'm new to being full-time. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. I don't even stream like full-time hours. I technically stream part-time hours, but I do stream 5 times a week. I also am still doing a sale through the end of the month. So like this is the last week. 15% off my Etsy store, 15% off of commissions. And on my fourth wall, you just have to use the BP 2025 code on the fourth wall to get 15% off of that. I am a Moko, a bunch of other things. And I do things with yarn or, you know, other things. I needle felted this little guy on stream not that long ago. It was my first one. This is Kel's frog. And because I won Kel's frog and then I made it a bat friend, so they're best of friends. Thank you. And this I finished not that long ago. I think I posted in Jelly's Discord. It's my first ever needle felt painting. I stopped following the picture and then it came out a lot better. So I'm pretty proud of it. Thank you. That is available on my Etsy store and currently 15% off. I also like do 3D printing. So this is a calcifer yarn ball. He's nice and blue, you know, with a little bit of like pinkish green in the bottom. Do things like that. I'm printing a yarn bowl right now for a sale. Yeah, it's so fun. I'm gonna do more needle felt painting for sure. I dye yarn. That's what this is behind me. This is part of Arid's order of yarn, and that's also what I'm untangling. And I've made it so much worse, but it's fine. It'll get better. It'll get better. Probably. But I do have a Discord. It is minimalist. It's built so that it's minimalist on purpose. We do have a share on stream section though. And then like different tiers and like fourth wall memberships unlock other things. I didn't want it to have like 70 different channels in it. You know what I mean? And then just in case, those are the other links for stores. And if anybody needs to go do post-stream care, please do. I know I haven't eaten yet. If anybody else needs to eat, please eat. Please drink some water. I'm gonna have some water. But my con went really well. I made so many people have faces of just complete pure joy from like I sold mostly the clicker fidgets. People had such unadulterated, amazing joy. Because a lot of them I'd be like, you know, touch friendly table. I encourage you to touch anything. I'm like, and I'd reach over and be like, these are clickers, and I'd start clicking it, and then people would be like really curious, like what? And then they'd be like, they'd go click it, and they'd be like, oh. And I'm like, I know, it's great, right? And then they start touching other ones. They're like, is everything a fidget? Are these fries a fidget? And like, it was wonderful. And then I'm like, yep. And then I have these keychains here, and this whole bin is $3 a piece. And they'd be like, really? So people bought a lot of them. It was great. It was very unique for sure. Like there was one other person that was selling like clicker fidgets, but it was like the plain kind where it's just like it looks like a long keyboard. Like they just look like regular keycaps. There was nothing like mine there. So that also helped. It made it really, really unique. Which is great. I did sell some amigurumi. I sold a big Snorlax. I'm hoping to get some commissions for sweaters because there were some older women who really liked mine, you know. No, please go get a cup of tea. I'm not going to stay on much longer because I am really hungry and exhausted, and my throat is bothering me a lot from all the talking and all the screaming at the burlesque show. But I'm just basically doing a TLDR for anyone who's come in. So yeah. And I made like new friends. I talked to a lot of people. I met one of the crochet people on Instagram that I like follow and in their Discord and that like I really admire. And she knew who I was. And I was like, oh my God. You know, we took a picture and she hugged me. And like, I was just like, you know, inner freakouts. Like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. There was an Astarian at the burlesque show, and she was gorgeous, and it was Astarian, so I'm like, Astarian, you know? So that was cool. It was a good like a really good performance, genuinely. So, they all did wonderful performances, and, a couple of them were even singing. And that, like, I haven't heard that before. You need to, Starry. You need to. Your stuff would be so cute. So cute. And like there were also like first timers, and like I'm not technically a first timer. I have done a couple of conventions before, but one was through a college, and it was many years ago before I was the business I am now. And the other was like a small kind of nothing con, and I probably did the best there, or one of the best there, to be honest. Not a nothing con, it doesn't exist anymore. Because like, they couldn't get the funds back, the tickets and sales and whatever. And they did try really hard, but I've done a lot of live events and whatever. Oh, I love cosplay burlesque shows so much. But I know a couple people were new to, like, it was their first one, and they seemed really discouraged. So like we tried to, like, a little discouraged, so we tried to tell them, like, not every convention is the same at all. Not any of them. They're all similar, but they're not all run the same. They're not all structured the same. Even if they're at the same location, that doesn't mean that it will be the same traffic or have like the same base of customers or anything like that. It won't even be like, the layout won't be the same. A lot of them have completely different reputations and completely different like VAs or things that they pull, a lot of them pull bigger VAs. Like the one I've attended for the majority of the past like 10 years, that one at one point had like Matthew Mercer, before Critical Role was that huge. It still had Matthew Mercer, and like it had I forgot his name. He's an older guy. Hold on. It was Zim, Invader Zim. Richard Horvitz. They had Richard Horvitz, and things like that. The one convention I think had Vic, whatever the fuck his last name is, and like Todd Habercorn and them. The convention I usually go to, they have Kari Wahlgren a lot. They also had the guy who voices Sato. Is it Sato in JJK? Not Sato, because I'm thinking Satoru. The other guy, yeah, it is Sato. No, it's not. It's Suguru. Suguru? Yeah, I'm thinking Gato. Suguru Gato had that VA there. You know what I mean? The VAs at this con weren't huge, I don't think. Or like if you go up to Colossal, Colossal had last year they had friggin' Gray Delisle, she's huge, and like a couple of other like big ones from, that. So like they're all different. So to like not be discouraged, just keep trying. And it doesn't necessarily, maybe you should come back to this convention. Give it another try. I understand if you try a couple times and it's just complete shit, but like don't go off of just 1 year. Unless you've had like a horribly bad experience. And also, a lot of the conventions, a lot of them are using Eventtree now, for the applications. Not all of them, but a lot of them. And a lot of them will ask you places you've been, like other places you've vended at, So like if you're, and a lot of cons, like this one, if you've gotten in, that means you've already vetted. They've already approved of you, and they will ask you to come back. They literally sent out an email during the con and was at the end, near the end of the con, and was like, "Hey, at this time, we're gonna have it available that you can buy your table next year. Anyone like for the same price that you paid for this year, you know?" And a lot of people, I saw a lot of people getting into line. I did, for sure. And like that means you're already in. Like you can get in again. And like other conventions will look at that. Other conventions will, especially like as they get bigger, like maybe you can get into a bigger con because you've been at a few that are smaller than theirs, and they're like, okay, maybe they can handle it, you know. And once you get into a big con, you might be able to get into a, you know, depending on what you look for. And it works like both directions, you know. If you've been to one, if you've been to a few, if you're accepted at a few, you list that, you say that. It's like a resume. So we'll see. I'm hoping that a couple of them come back next year. I love my spot, so I'm not giving it up for shit. You know, it's a really good spot. But I have to pee really bad. So I think that it is a real good time to go.
China, wasn't you
I
supposed
do
to
really
go to the
bad
toilet right now?
to like, you know, drop you off. And we're going to go see. Let's see. I think we're gonna go see Kiki. Kiki is working on marionettes, and that's really cool. So here are my raid messages. I'm going to relax, drink more water, go pee, get some food, you know, have some calm time. Yeah, thank you so much, you guys, for coming in and hanging out with me and listening to my stories. It was really good to see all of you. I'm so tired. So we're gonna go see Kiki Hunter Creative. I've never raided them before, but like I know them. They're really nice. I'm losing my voice as I'm like doing my outro, so maybe this is a perfect time. I will be back tomorrow. And we'll have some fun, and I'll get through this fucking yarn vomit that I created. But it's fine. Everybody go eat. Go take care of yourselves. Go do all the things. No worries, Ram. It's so good to see you. It's just I'm having a short stream today. Because I just got back from a convention. Hi, AJ. I just got back from a convention. And my voice is literally going, and like I'm tired, so have a good day, everybody. I love you. Bye. Smoke all those cigarettes packs apparently all day. This is what happens to your voice. I'm kidding. I don't smoke. Don't do that.
China's world, the fun's unlined. She's got the energy, vibe on blast, making magic that's built to last. China's living on a natural rate, come and see what fun and joy live wild and free. With every breath she spins delight, gaming, crafting, shining bright. Sassy, sweet, she's everything right. In China's world we take flight. From yarn to games, she's switching lanes, creativity pumping through her veins. Commissions lined up, craft so fly, unicorn vibes reaching for the sky. Short but fierce, she's running the race. China's world is a magical space. Small in size, but don't you doubt, in her natural